Hey y'all, it's Mason from Mopar Garage here, and today we're going to be doing a decklid installation on a 2010 police charger. So here you see the police charger, may have seen on Riley's channel over at RP Productions. We did a whole review of the car, and I had talked in that car about maybe making it a little more streamlined, moving away from the cop look a little bit. But today we're going to be replacing the white decklid with a black decklid, which we have sitting over here on a rack. And the only differences are this black decklid came off a 2008, should be a direct bolt-in. And I'll be debadging it because that's how the other car came, and it looks really clean. So we may go into a plasti dip on this video, how to get that done. We'll see, just see where it takes us. But I'll be showing y'all how to uninstall the lock cylinder for the rear trunk, get all the light and wiring off, and you'll be able to see that here on the bottom just very quickly. Get all this rewired and reinstall. So let's get to it. Alright y'all, so to begin this installation on the new decklid, you first want to remove your old decklid. Now before you take off any of the bolts on the decklid, you need to get the wiring harness out of the rear decklid here. As you can see, it runs up to the lock and to the rear third tail light, and it comes down and it comes here too into the body. Now you need to remove that so that when you're separating this from the body, it's not held on, and then you have a loose decklid and can cause a lot of problems trying to get that removed after the fact. So to start off, you're going to see there's a couple plastic clips here, right here, and then one on the other side. Now these are just pins, and you can do this as so. You'll just take a flathead screwdriver and you'll kind of pry, and you want to get this so it's pulled down in the middle like so. And then this will just pop out. So now I'm able to just pull this out, and we'll get the other side. Usually not too hard. These are a lot better than most of the ones in the engine bay, I'll say that. And there it is. Now you've got that off. This plastic cover should come right off, and that will expose the last wire. Alright y'all, so here's a better view of what I was talking about, and moving forward, this is the decklid that we've already had removed, and we got this from the salvage yard. So I'm just going to kind of go through the steps here to show you how to remove the wiring harness, and you'll get everything reinstalled on the next one. So this plastic cover you see is loose here, and that exposes, as I said, this third plug. So you're going to lift these and the plug will come right out. Okay, then you will also need a 10mm socket, and you'll be able to remove this ground wire. You will want to remove this clip, and this is a bit different than the last clip. It clips on the sides are the locks. So there, and if I can get my finger underneath on the other side there, then this should pull right out. I pulled those. Okay, go ahead and stop it. For the second wiring plug, or for the third tail light, you want to just come in here, kind of rotate your screwdriver, that'll get the clip released, and then it just pulls right out. Alright, so you've got all this removed. Besides the ground wire, we'll get to that here in just a second. You want to pull this is just plastic, just come right out. Usually they like to fight you a bit, but not too bad. Just kind of rotate that, it comes out. Get that out, and then should be able to get this ground wire done and pull all through the bumper. So let me get that done. Alright, getting this ground wire off. Got your 10mm socket here. It's off. Alright, you've got that removed. Place this here. I'm going to pull your bolt out. And then, once you've got all this undone, you just want to feed this through. This is going to go through this channel here. Pretty easy, it's pretty open. And you'll come from the other side and you'll start to pull. You may have to work this a bit because you've got these ends on the wiring, so you just want to kind of push from this end and pull from this end at the same time, kind of working it in. Alright y'all, so now that you've got the wiring harness uninstalled here, you can see that. Just pulled it through, it's just laying down in the trunk. you can take your 13mm socket on either a ratchet or an impact here, and you're just going to go ahead and loosen all these bolts. You don't want to take both of them out on one side yet until you loosen the others, and it also keeps you from dropping the corner deck lid into your paint. That's what we've got these towels here for. It's just protecting the paint and keeping this so when it slides down a bit, when you've released the pressure, you don't harm either the glass or your quarter panels. Alright, so you've got it released. It's just kind of sitting there now. You want to grab up top. This helps if you have two people. If you have two people, a lot of times you can have one person holding the deck lid while the last person removes it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and release this. Now that I've got it released, I should be able to just pull the deck lid up and over, and there we go. Alright, here you can see the deck lid's uninstalled. We've pulled it. Wiring is just waiting to go into the new deck lid. Alright, so moving on here, now we're going to show you how to remove the lock cylinder. So you're going to look on the inside of the trunk here, and looking inside, you can see there's a metal clip right there, and there's also a piece of rubber right here. Alright, so here you can see with the remove lock cylinder, I'm going to show you how this is done just to get a better view. So you can see this is what would be facing away from you on the inside of the deck lid. So if you were looking at it, it would look somewhat like this. Okay? So to do this, you're going to come on the other side. You're going to take your you're going to take your needle nose pliers. You'll just squeeze on the end here, and you'll push, and you kind of get your finger there, and then it should push right out. Pretty easy. Now the second step will be to remove the metal clip that holds the lock cylinder to the deck lid. So you're just going to push here, and you can kind of pry. There we go. And this metal clip just should slide right off. Alright guys, so I got the new deck lid on, just very premature, just the 4 bolts, nothing else. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to get your wiring back up through your trunk or your deck lid really quick. So if you just try and force this through, you're working against gravity here, you're trying to push it through the hole, it can be really difficult, especially because this wire starts to get bundled up like this and there. So what you do is you take some sort of cable or string or wire, and while you have this flat out on a table or something like that, it's a lot easier to go ahead and feed something through like this. And what I did was, you can see, I started with this hole and I fed it down through, and it was easy to get out of this hole, and then I came back and fed it back through, and so it comes out where the original wire would and where this wire would. So you take the wiring harness and you simply wrap it like so, and since this is a double twined wire, I'll take advantage of that, and I'll go ahead and untwine it here a bit. I'll use that to kind of tie it together. So I got this tied, should pull nice and tight. Okay, so you got that, and so now I'll come up here where the wire's pulled through, and I'll simply pull as I feed it through. Alright, some other help might be to insert the screwdriver here, and that's just to guide the wire so it stays above the screwdriver, and that'll keep it from sticking. So it makes it a lot easier to pull this through. So you almost need 3 hands, because you need one hand really pulling, one hand holding the screwdriver, and one hand pushing or feeding the wire in from the bottom. Alright, here we go. You can see we've got the ends pulled through. Looks good. Pull the rest of the lead. And that should be good to go. Right now, you'll just take your rubber grommet here, and that'll just pop back into place. Alright guys, so here's the last part. You're going to see your 3 wires. Should be real quick. You're going to take this, and it's going to snap right back into place. It's going to hold these wires up. This wire is going to go to your 3rd brake light, so it just pops in. This wire is going to go to the plug here for your trunk release, and then you're going to want to undo again this bolt, this 10mm bolt, and that will get you your ground wire. Alright, as you can see, the ground wire was just bolted in there. Now finally, you'll take your cover here, you'll slide it back down. Let's pull this a little bit. There we go. You're gonna slide it back into place, and you're gonna take your two plastic clips, and they're gonna push right into these holes. There's one, and there's two. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you didn't like it, feel free to tell me why. Thanks for watching.